Hello everyone, MCon here, bringing you the next episode of our Dragon Age Origins Let's Play. We just escaped from Fort Drakon, so outside it is. I don't know, I guess we're going back to the Arl's estate. I suppose. I don't have much other answer for that. No point in going to any other places, I guess. Especially not the market district. That place always bugged us out. It just didn't work very well at all. Alright. Let's go find the Arl. We have much to discuss with him. I think he's back here in his study. Yes, that's what it looks like. Alright. Honora!
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Indeed. After your rather alarming lack of subtlety,
my lack of subtlety.
I prayed for your safe return.
Eamon, what is she doing here?
Am I missing something?
You are not. It seems the entire purpose of my disguise completely escaped the Grey Warden. Thankfully, no harm was done in the end. I am hoping that, despite our unfortunate beginning, we can still work together. Will you hear me out?
You asked for help for a reason, I suppose.
We will need to work together, and quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat, yet even now I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it.
Can he still take the throne without you?
Perhaps. It will be more difficult for him, but if my father says the Grey Wardens are the enemy, many will believe it. He is a legend.
It's true. Our position in the Landsmeet is not strong, and this does little to help us.
At least that snake Howe is dead. That alone will not be enough, however. My father is committed to his path. You will need ammunition for the Landsmeet, and there I can help. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that Howe and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Honora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as Howe's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Elena to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet, but you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me.
And what of Alistair?
I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough. And decent, but even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Honora, you are indeed Kaelin's widow, but
I am the daughter of Ferelden's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Kaelin. I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father. Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
Alright. Interesting.
well, she's quite spirited.
Yeah.
I remember when Loghain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Galen was a good boy, but Honora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same.
Why do you think she's trouble?
This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Loghain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Honora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Loghain.
And she's single now, right?
Are you thinking you might stand a chance at courtship? It would be unseemly for her to marry so soon after Kaelin's death. She wouldn't take that risk unless it helps her secure the throne.
Maybe Alistair should marry Honora.
Are you serious?
Oh, hi there.
No, never mind. I don't even want to hear the rest of this. You two just keep talking about me.
Didn't
I'm going to
notice
stand
you.
over here with my fingers in my ears.
That would certainly solve a lot of problems, and put forth the strongest argument before the Landsmeet to remove Loghain from power. With Therin blood on the throne, and Honora's wisdom and popularity, Ferelden could present the most united front against the Blight. Unfortunately, the marriage would never happen unless they both agreed to it. And I suspect that might take a lot of persuading to get past her pride and his humility.
Why is it so important to put Marik's son on the throne?
Ferelden was first united by Calenhad, the Silver Knight. For 400 years, his descendants have ruled Ferelden. That was the heritage we preserved from the Orlesians. And it is the heritage I will fight for as long as one of Calenhad's descendants still lives. Without that to unite us, we could scatter back to warring Terniers.
Alistair doesn't know the first thing about being king.
No, I don't, which I've told both of you on many occasions. If Honora's turned against Loghain, I say let her keep the crown. It looks better on her anyway.
You're both wrong. With a few months of experience, Alistair will make a fine king. He knows how to lead troops to defend his land. He knows how to stand and fight for justice. He knows how to show compassion to those less fortunate, and how to trust to the Maker's guidance to know right from wrong. And he knows who to turn to for aid, should that training fail him. He will be fine.
Alright, let's talk about
We
something
certainly
else.
have a great deal to plan.
And, what do you think that he's doing in the alienage?
Maker knows what that man is capable of now.
Alright, I have work to do.
Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Honora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
Alright. Queen Honora. She made her way to Eamon's Denerim estate, and there offered her aid in defeating her father at the Landsmeet. Would have been nice if she'd offered it a little earlier. Correspondence Interruptus, and some control stuff. Okay. Alistair, I feel like... Oh, that's not Alistair. Riordan? Hey, Riordan!
Hello again, friend. It looks as though you're no worse for wear after your stay in Fort Drakon.
Could you tell me about that vault again?
It's located just off the Market District in the northern alley past the Old Noble Tavern. I'll sketch out the code which will let you pass the lock wheel. Inside you can take your pick of whatever equipment remains. It is the stockpile the Wardens have kept for centuries, for the defense of Denerim.
Did you know Duncan very well?
We went through our joining together, more years ago than I like to remember. He was exactly the same back then, tough as stone and just as grizzled. I think he understood sooner than the rest of us how ugly a choice it is to let the few be sacrificed to protect the many. Always left himself a soft spot for his recruits, though. Only where he ever let himself down.
What are your plans now?
When I'm well enough, I'm going to continue my journey toward Ostagar. Hopefully I'll be able to trace the heart of the Blight and where the Archdemon itself abides. If we want to defeat this Archdemon, we need to know where it is and how soon it might strike.
You're going alone. Shouldn't I go with you?
If there were more of us, I would agree. But as it is, I don't think we can deprive all the armies you've gathered of a commander.
I was hoping I could learn a bit more about Grey Wardens.
Well, I'd be happy to tell you what I know, but it seems to me that you've picked the important parts up yourself. Be firm in your beliefs, protect people from their own ignorance, and be as loyal as you can to your brothers, even knowing you'll share their deaths.
How many Wardens are there?
It's tough to say. Only the fortress in Weishaupt has every record. But there are certainly a few dozen or hundreds in every nation in Thedas. The Anderfells are home to over 1,000. It's almost like the Archdemon chose Ferelden deliberately, knowing how unguarded it is.
Have you ever been to the fortress in Weishaupt?
Once only, and I'd rather not go again. It's far, lad. And very foreign. The wardens there, they fight darkspawn like you and me, but they're shaped by the winters there in the forest. They're a cold group and don't care like they should about the rest of the world. Their king is weak, and many Anders look to the wardens to rule. I hate to say this, but some of them seem to want it that way.
How were the wardens founded?
It was near 1200 years ago, and no one knows for sure, except that it began with a group of Anders soldiers. Apparently, they defected from their king's army, vowing that fighting the Blight was more important, and traveled all the way to Tevinter themselves. They were the first ones to track down the archdemon Dumat, and the ones to slay him, though none survived the battle. But they had picked up followers by then, and it was they who formally founded the Order, and were recognized by Thedas.
Why has it been so long since the last Blight?
Archdemons don't awaken on their own, you know. It takes the Darkspawn, tunneling and tunneling, searching for centuries to find one. And with no one to lead them, it must be sheer chance, or maybe instinct, which leads them. What's surprising isn't that it takes so long between Blights. What's surprising is that they succeed at all. But I imagine the old gods call to them. And it's that voice in the darkness which drives them through so many generations.
I guess that's all I had for now.
The important thing to remember is, none of that matters.
Great.
When you're facing Darkspawn, all you need to know is to stop them at all costs.
Alright. Alistair.
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. Something
So
on your
I've heard.
mind?
I have some questions.
Of course.
Never mind. Guess I don't get to convince him first. Let's find Honora. Where would she be? Honora's room. Oh, that was actually easy. Alright. Your Majesty.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. I realize that my actions at Howe's estate may not have painted me in the best light. For that, I apologize and hope that we can start again. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne.
And why should I support you?
For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Kaelin's queen. As much as they loved Kaelin, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Kaelin was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Alina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity for us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine.
You think you're a better candidate than Alistair, then?
Do you disagree? You are a fellow Grey Warden. What do you think of Alistair's potential to rule? Never mind his willingness.
I think he would do fine, actually.
Alistair seems like a kind, well-meaning man, and biddable enough. These are admirable qualities, if not kingly ones. He also seems to be a fine Grey Warden, which is exactly why he should remain one and serve the kingdom by defeating the Darkspawn.
Just how do you know so much about him?
Kaelin knew of Alistair. It was Arl Eamon that kept Alistair out of the courts, as Merrick had desired. Oh, there are some who would follow Alistair out of respect for his Therin blood. The others would see this as Eamon grabbing for power. Who else do you think Alistair would turn to for help? Eventually, the nobility would return to the old days of constant warring with each other. Alistair's weakness would destroy everything Merrick built.
What's your alternative?
I have ruled this nation on Kaelin's behalf for many years. I am a great queen, and as beloved by my people as I love them. Ferelden needs an effective ruler with experience to see it through the Blight and after. That is not Alistair. Thus, I say again, I would welcome your support for the throne if you would give it.
Are you proposing an alliance?
That is exactly what I am proposing. When the time comes, you support my bid in the Landsmeet to remain on the throne. You will be seen as my father's enemy, yet you will be in support of his daughter. You will be seen as supporting the interests of Ferelden, as opposed to solely those of the Grey Wardens. In return, I add my voice to yours. Do you see? Together we can do what alone we cannot.
Why not simply marry Alistair? The best of both worlds.
Ignoring that the man looks so much like Cailan, my recently dead husband, if you'll recall, my main fear is that he might govern like Cailan as well. But it is true that Alistair has Theron blood. To some, this is more important even than practical considerations. A union might be considered a compromise, but is this something Alistair even desires?
I think I could convince him.
Let me say this. If Alistair is willing to stand back and allow me to continue governing the nation, then I would be willing to have him as my king. It is my understanding that governing does not appeal to him anyhow. If that is so, this is a compromise I can live with.
I will speak to him then.
Do so. I will be interested to hear what he has to say.
Alright. Alistair, let's talk about this. Erlina? I bet I can convince you to marry her and become king. How hard could it be?
So I'm guessing someone told Honora I was planning to steal her throne. She has a nasty glare. Did anyone mention this wasn't my idea? I think she's a great queen. As far as I'm concerned, she's welcome to it.
I think you'd be a great king, Alistair.
Really? Whatever will give you that idea?
You have a kind heart and a strong sense of justice.
Well, it's nice that you think so. What do you think I should do? Go ahead and be king, just to let it happen?
I think you should marry Honora.
Marry her? As in marriage? As in be her husband? You've spoken to her about this? You did, didn't you? Why would you do that? Did you take a blow to the head? That's crazy.
Okay, let's see. She can rule while you lead. It's perfect.
I suppose.
Yay, persuasion!
I don't know how much of a leader I am, but at least I know she's a good ruler. Go ahead, then. Tell her I'll do it if it comes to that. Now, excuse me while I go have a small heart attack somewhere. No big deal, right?
Oh, wow. He approved and I inspired minor constitution from that. That's pretty neat. Alright, let's go tell Queen Honora the marriage is going to be on. You know, I've heard that if you are a... oh, I don't remember what origin, but one of them, you can actually marry Honora yourself and become king.
Well, have you spoken to my lucky betrothed yet? Or will we be reduced to passing notes?
He's agreed to your terms.
He has? I wasn't expecting that, to tell you the truth. To marry Cailan's brother. Well, I suppose stranger things have happened. If it will truly help matters... Is this it then? I agree to marry Alistair to retain my throne, and in exchange I give you my support. If not, then tell me now.
Marry Alistair, and you will have my support.
Done. So, we have a deal, Warden. I trust you'll keep your end of the bargain.
This is awesome.
Now, I suppose, comes the task of dealing with my father. That will be no small feat, of course, but I am certain you already know this. I imagine you have much to do. Is there anything else you needed from me?
No, I should go.
Then I wish you luck, Warden.
Alright. We did awesome. Let us go ahead and leave the palace then. We need to check out the alienage, see what's going on down there. And for that, I think we'll take out our regular crew. We'll bring Leliana,
Indeed.
Ogren, and Morrigan. Okay. actually is that... Okay, there's the alienage. Genetivi's home, Nod Noble. Somewhere in here... Oh, we can go tell about Chanter Rosamond. Somewhere in here is supposed to be a Grey Warden vault, too, so we'll want to check that out when we get the chance. Save this. Morgan, put up your frost weapons. Liliana, let's get momentum going. Alright, so we'll turn in this quest over at the Chantry board. And then we'll see about finding that Grey Warden vault.
As there is but one
Hello,
world,
Chanter Rosamond.
one life,
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
is our
Alright.
They are sinners who have given their
Okay,
lives
well,
to
thank you
false
all
gods.
very much for coming along with us. And this is going to be the end of another episode. So until next time, bye all.